Hey, stop. Look at me. Me. What's up, y'all? I'm back. It's Chris back for another BIZBUZZ Live. Hey, we're live here on LinkedIn, live here on YouTube. We'll let a couple people show up over here so we can have another important conversation around some of the things that we need to talk about when it comes to making some money. Today, we're going to have a conversation for all of you that just graduated or you just had someone graduate, a loved one, a sibling, a child. They just graduated, or you are the person that just graduated. We're going to talk about what should you be doing? How should you be thinking about this thing? All right. Stick around. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of BIZBUZZ Live. I'm your host, Chris Muzan, helping you through all things finance. Happy 4th to those of you that are about to celebrate. Happy 4th of July. It's America's 250. If that means something to you, great. It's an exciting time. We get a chance to spend some time with friends and family, celebrate the country. That's awesome. Hope everybody's having an amazing weekend. Again, being live here on LinkedIn, live on YouTube, couple things I always dive into. It's been a couple weeks since I got a chance to chat with y'all over here. But the thesis of this show, the reason why we started BIZBUZZ Live is specifically because no matter what financial conversation we're having, inevitably we're living through a time where cash flow is the conversation, right? Where cash flow, what comes in and what goes out, is the need. It's the thing that we're talking the most about. It's the thing that people are stressed the most about. It's the thing that people, have the least amount of solutions for. And so we want to come in and give those solutions to you. So that's why we started this BIZBUZZ Live. We're talking about all the things in industries, all the things in certain industries that you might want to know or want to find out. Is your industry making money? Is your industry not making money? Where should you pivot? Where should you put your time, your energy, your attention? All those types of things are the things we're talking about here on BIZBUZZ, okay? And something I want to share with y'all really quickly before we dive into today's episode is I want to be able to share with you something really cool that my wife and I have started. It's something called the Financial Clarity Club. The Financial Clarity Club, the reason why we believe we're not getting better financially as a society is because we don't talk about it. We don't have community around it. We don't have people that we trust to talk about money. We actually talk to the same people over and over and over again about our money, and it never gets us to where we want to go. Outside of that, we just try to figure it out ourselves. So what do I always say, right? Like, imagine you want your health life to get better. You want your health life to get better, but you never go see a doctor. You never go see a professional. You just read a bunch of things and then you tweak and figure it out. Long term, you might not be that healthy, right? You might not be that healthy. And so same thing with our finances, y'all. Same thing with our finances. If you never sit down with a financial professional, if you never have someone that is a little bit further along than you to help you down the path and understand your specific situation, it's likely that you don't get it. So we created the Financial Clarity Club so that you can take control of your financial future, so you can have a community of people to talk about all the foundational things, all the things that are important. This isn't an investment club, right? A lot of times that's what we hear. Oh, this is an investment club, so we're just going to talk about investments. No, that might be a part of the conversation, but typically this conversation needs to be, how do you make more money? How do you earn money? Are you saving money and saving it in the right places? How are you getting out of debt? Are you making sure that you're properly protected in case injury or sickness or death How do you leave a legacy? How do you pass things down to your next of kin? These become the questions that we have to start asking ourselves over time. And we just wanted to create a platform for all of us to be able to do it. So we're running a special promotion right now. If you see, it's been scrolling across the bottom. If you go in and register now, we're doing something for the first 50 people that register. Depending on when you hear this, it might already be closed, but we just rolled this out July 1st. So we're, at the time of recording this, July 3rd, we are inviting the first 50 people to register that they're going to get their first 90 days for free. Okay. First 90 days, complimentary. You can get in, get all the resources, listen to all the conversations, all the webinars, all the things. And from there, I just had a thought. Ash, clip this up. We need to go back and get all of the webinars that we have done that were on YouTube and put them into the school classroom as well. I think that's just a thought I just had. We got to load you. We have so much content, y'all, around money. We have so much content. We've helped so many people with this stuff. We try to get it to the world, but what we know you need is a community, but we got all the resources for you. We're going to let you have those, drop those in there. Again, register. At the time of hearing this, the first 50 people that are in there, first 90 days are free. And then after that, it's just $50 a month, y'all. It's just 50. You know what that is? You know how they say you can buy this for less than $1 a day, right? Like literally, it's like less than $2 a day to get your financial life in order. $50 a month doesn't do anything typically to hurt your pockets. I know you might not feel like you have it if you're listening. Some of you waste that on a weekend. So this is something that's going to improve your financial life. That investment in yourself and in your knowledge is really going to help you grow and get to the person that you need to be financially, y'all. So make sure you join that. Jump over there. Make sure that you become one of the first 50 founding members. You'll get in for 90 days free. All right. Anyways, what we came to talk about today was for the graduates, the people that have just graduated, the people that you know that are graduating or just have graduated. What's the reality of life after college? Not graduating middle school, not graduating kindergarten, not graduating high school, which we might touch on. But for the college graduates, the people that just walked the stage, got their associates, got their bachelors, what's next? What's next? Feel free to drop that comment in. If you are one of these people that just graduated, what's next for you? What's next? I'm really curious to hear how you're now looking at the next phase of life. The college experience was probably pretty good for you. There's a statistic that says, I'm going to pull it up right now. There's a statistic that says, where is it? 61%, the graduation rate in our country for a 6-year college graduation is 61%. So that means among students who start a 4-year college, a little over 6 out of 10 of them finish within 6 years. So it's not just 4 years anymore. You're not just showing up, right? You have life things that start to happen. You have financial things that start to happen. You have to take off a semester here, take off 2 semesters here, come back. It is now taking people, which should be a 4-year degree that you're paying for, 4 years, is now taking 61% of kids, students, 6 years to finish that. So after you come out of college, if it's taken you 6 years, if you went from 18 to 23 or 24 years old, what now is life? Like, what are you doing at 24? There's again, all these statistics that are popping out that what is it? Over 50% of Gen Z is now living back at home with their parents. So like they went from high school living with their parents to 13th grade of college and now they move back in with their parents. Now, again, I know from a parenting perspective, I can understand both sides. I see both sides. Hey, we're not going to kick our child out if they're going to work and save and build and all the things, right? We're kind of that support system for them while they're 23, 24, and so that they can go off and do the things they want to do. The other side is they're 23 or 24. How will they ever learn how to manage a house? How will they ever learn how to get an apartment? How will they ever learn to live below their means for real, to work harder so that they have enough to pay rent, to pay their thing? I know it sounds like a struggle, and we want to support our children and keep them safe, but we're going to raise a very, very soft, rough generation if they're still living at home in their 30s. Just saying. Just saying. So anyway, after college, that's 6 years now, what are people doing? Did you find the job that you wanted to? Did you find the job fresh out of college? Remember what they promised you, right? Go to school, get good grades, get a good job, get a job with some benefits. Is that your life? Is that what you're finding? So again, the only reason we're having this conversation is because I really want people to understand there's so many ways to earn money. And we have to pay attention. We got to get out of the ideating phase, the ideal theory side of things, and look at what's happening. In 2026, the salary listing puts a college graduate pay average right around about $33,000, maybe $34,000. Think about that. 2026, where we are right now, average postgraduate salary is $34,000, probably before taxes, right? So after taxes, we're talking about $28,000, $27,000 to $29,000. That's $2,000 a month. What can a college graduate do? How can they live off of a little bit over $2,000 a month? No wonder they're living back with parents. That's not enough. So the question becomes, was it worth it? Another statistic I'm looking at that says 91% or 9 out of 10 graduates said they had a positive college experience. A positive college experience. Yet, only 1 in 2 graduates said their major didn't prepare them for today's market. 90% of them said college was fun. I had a great experience. I met some cool people, had some wild times, had some good professors, liked being on campus, remember those parties, remember that football game, had a great experience. However, 50% of people that graduated said, oh, this didn't prepare me for anything in my market. This didn't prepare me for anything in the job market. My major, the things I learned didn't prepare me for anything that I'm about to face. So are we just paying the college tuition for them to have fun? For kids to have the experience? Because again, this is what the statistics is showing. It's saying, hey, one, they're not even making money coming out of college, average $34,000. And 50% of them said, this didn't even help me get prepared for what I was trying to do. So what is college preparing us for then? Again, if you've just graduated, how prepared are you? We'll drop some of these polls on LinkedIn. But if you just graduated, or you know someone that just graduated college, like how prepared are you to work in your field? How prepared are you to make money? How prepared are you to now become an adult? That's what they told you, right? After high school, well, you need a little transition to go to college. And then after college, you're 22, 23, 24 years old. You're an adult. How prepared are you? Do you have good money management skills? Do you know how to interview properly? Do you know how to do anything that's going to help you? Hopefully. This was also interesting on this statistic that said, what degrees are people getting? And again, I'd love to hear from you guys. Drop some comments in the chat. Feel free to comment on this post depending on when you see it. But it says, what degrees are they getting? I don't know if this would surprise you or not, but it says the most common bachelor degree field was, what do you think? What do you think? The most common degree for bachelors. Somebody was going to guess it, but I'll just tell you. Business. Business, with almost 1/5 of the bachelor degrees handed out. 19% of the bachelor degrees handed out in this country this past year was for business. So what are people thinking that they're going to get in a business college class with a business degree? Robert Kiyosaki wrote a book, y'all, and I'm not bashing. Again, I hope this is more awareness than anything. Awareness, if nothing changes, nothing changes. We're living through a time that people are not making money. That's the actual issue. Sure, we can blame the inflation and the cost of living and gas going up and the price of homes rising, and we can talk about all those things. That's fine. A mentor of mine used to always say, Chris, life is not expensive. You just don't make enough money. I don't know if that's your belief. It's probably not. But that's also true. Two things can be true at the same time. Yes? Life can be getting more expensive, and you cannot make more money. Like you cannot be making all the money you want to. Both can be true. It's just what side you choose to focus on. What side are you choosing to focus on? The fact that these things are uncontrollable and you can't control the price of things and food and all the stuff? Or can you control the fact that you just don't make enough money? That's why I choose to point us in this direction. The fact is, if you don't make enough money, well, let's go figure out the ways to do it. That's simple. Not easy. Simple. But it comes with a learning process. We think the institution of school creates learning. It doesn't create that. So we have to have, we think the institution of school is the only way we create learning, right? It's the only way we know how to learn. You have to learn outside of that institution as well. You don't have to go back to school to get more knowledge. So we're just evaluating, and you should evaluate. Did this college degree, did the last 4 to 6 years help me get to the place I want to go? Help me continue to build the skills that I needed. Again, we're reading the statistics. What I was telling you before I had to backtrack to give you a little bit more logic. Robert Kiyosaki, I think, wrote a book, said, A students work for C students. I think that's the title of the book. A students work for C students. And it's true. So when you get a business degree and you got a 4.0 GPA, you have a 3.8 GPA, you're really proud of the work that you did to get those degrees. You're going to wind up working for a C student, right? That in business, especially, the fact that 19+% of people are getting a business degree, what are they going to go off and do with that business degree? You're going to go work for someone that typically doesn't have a business degree, but runs the business. And you're going to be highly valuable to them. The A students will work for the C students. But I'm curious on the other side, if you went and got a business degree because you thought you were going to start a business. Because that gives me hope. On one side, that you're seeing it, you're seeing the change. You're seeing, man, I don't want to work a job forever. You see, the 40-40-40 plan isn't the life I want. What's the 40-40-40 plan? We work 40 years of our life. We work 40 hours a week for 40 years of our life. to retire on 40% of what we make. The 40-40-40 plan, 40 hours a week for 40 years of our life in order to retire off of 40% of what we were making. That's the plan most people signed up for. That's the plan that typically higher education, right? That's what they push you towards. I'm curious that if we're saying that 19-20% of graduates, highest bachelor degree total is in business, does that mean we want to be in business? Like inherently we want to be entrepreneurs. We just don't know how to get the information. So we went to an institution to get some business information in hopes that we can start a business. Is that why we're getting the business degree? Or is it that we just want to work for big companies? So we need some business knowledge of how like big companies work. So we can be the A student working for the C student. I'm not sure. But I think this is a place that we have to sit and talk. If you have just graduated, like I would love to have a conversation about what life after college really looks like for you. Are you worried? Are you scared? Is everything great? Is it kind of back to high school times, but now you're just older? Because it can feel like that too. Now that you're living back with your parents in the same city and place your high school was and all the stuff, you might see similar friends now, but now you're just older. Or are you now motivated in your career trajectory? Are you networking? Are you talking to all the right people? Are you shaking hands with the leaders of your community? Are you getting out into the world to be able to show your value at this age? To sit under some wisdom, to find a mentor, to have someone in business and in career take a liking to you because of your work ethic, because of your timeliness, because of your attitude when you show up. Because that's the game. I don't know if they taught that in college, but that's the game when you get out here in the real world. You have to show your value to the marketplace, to the company, to the founder, to the manager. Like, I'm good. I can show up. I do things on time. I'm a man or woman of my word. I'm going to be here. I'm not going to call out all the time. I'm going to take this seriously. I'm going to go above and beyond. I'm going to excel in this position. I'm going to help others. I'm going to be a good teammate. I'm going to have empathy. I'm going to have critical thinking skills. I have, right, some creative ideas. I'm good in leadership. I'm good with people. Like, what are you out there proving or like doing in the business world that college has set you up for? Like, what did you learn in college that now you can go apply? Or is it just we learned how to write the resume and do a good interview and apply for the job and then, right, show up on time type of deal? This, if we want our college graduates to actually make money, to actually be successful, there might be a different skill set that they need to learn now that they're out of college. Now that they're out of college. By the way, outside of that bachelor's in business, which was the largest percentage, after that came health professionals, social science and history, and biological biomed science. Health professionals made up 13%. So people getting nursing degrees or whatever other health doctorate, right? Doctor degrees, those types of things. 13%. So 19% of all bachelors were business, 13% on the health professionals. Only 6% engineering. Only 6% psychology. So we have to ask, are we going to school for the right reasons still? And now that we've graduated, what's the plan? Here's my solutions for you. If you are listening and you have someone that just graduated or someone that you're the graduate, here's some things that I would just rattle off to you that you probably should be working on this summer. I kind of shared some of them with you right now, but again, just to make it more concise and drive it home. Number one, you need to be out. You know what the young people say these days, right? I'm outside. I'm outside this summer. No, but for real, in business, if you got a business degree, especially if you are a post-college grad, like you need to be outside this summer. Not in the way that cultures talks about it, right? With partying and hanging out and clubbing and all of a sudden. No, no. You need to like go find the industry you want to work in and go test it out and go shake some hands and go get to know the manager of the certain company or the founder of the certain company. Go make your services available. You can't do that always from the computer, y'all. You have to go out. You have to go talk to the people. You have to, right, go to the store and be like, hey, I'll work for free. That's such a crazy concept to many of you these days. But if you find the right entrepreneur, especially if you got a business degree, right? I'll teach you. If you had a business degree because you thought you wanted to start a business, here's the best way. Go find the businesses, the industries that you want to work for, not big corporations, people that have founders, have owners. And go talk to that founder and owner and be like, I'll work for you. Anything you need, I'll do it. You don't have to pay me. That's a way to get your foot in the door. If you're already only going to make $2,000 a month, but you're staying at home with your parents, just stay home with your parents and work for free, because after 2 years, you might make $80,000 because you've proven yourself. They probably won't let you work for 2 years without pay. It'll probably only be 6 months, might be 9 months. And then they might offer you a position. In that position, you're going to get paid way more than entry level because you've proven your skills to them. That's why the degree doesn't necessarily matter, but your skills, the value you provide. You made that owner's life easier. You created more sales for that company. You brought more money to the bottom line to that company. It was direct from you. You came in, you were creative, you're a critical thinker, you had a creative idea. They implemented that idea and it made the company money. You supported where you needed to support. You helped the team. You're going to get a job. You're going to work. And if you got a business degree sitting under an entrepreneur that's successful, there's no better teacher. Sitting under an entrepreneur that's successful, whether they pay you or not, it doesn't matter. If you can get in proximity to them and see how they run their operation, if that's something you ever want to do, you will learn so much. A mentor used to tell me he wasn't even a mentor. He was a guy I considered a mentor. He'd say, when I was a manager, he said, yeah, that's how, he was complimenting me on being a good restaurant manager a long time ago. And he was like, I'm sure you've picked up a lot of things from other managers. And I was like, yeah, you take the good and the bad. And he's like, that's very wise, right? We learn from the good managers just as much as we can learn from bad managers. We learn who we want to be as a manager or as a leader. We understand, I'm going to take these traits from this leader because when I sat under them, this is what I saw that was good, but this part wasn't. And then I sat under this leader and man, they were terrible all the way around in all these areas. Man, I know what not to do on that side. I see the adverse effect of why the employees are stealing because they don't like the management or they don't like the leadership. So they have no regard for the company. It's a lot different than over here. That's how we learn in the business world. It's by doing. It's by doing. And so that's what you should be doing this summer. You should be outside. You should be out. If you just graduated college, you should be outside. Maybe you do want to travel. Maybe you do have enough money saved that you can take a trip outside of the country. That might be good too, to get some more broader experiences. But if you're just thinking about career, and you're coming off of getting your bachelor's degree and there's no more school, you're not thinking about getting your doctorate or your PhD, your master's, you're not thinking about that stuff. You're like, now I'm ready to go work, but I don't know what to do or how to do it. First things first, you got to be outside. Secondly, you got to know what industry you want to be in. You got to go connect with the people that are in those industries. And then you got to offer your services. You got to offer to work. It's not about you just being compensated. It's about you adding value because you're just starting your career. You're just starting your career. If you don't want the 40-40-40 plan, Let's go the other way. If you do want the 40-40-40 plan, you got 40 years to work. You're just getting started. You got 40 years to work. If you don't want the 40-40 plan, this should be all the motivation you need to go outside and shake some hands with some owners, with some people that are doing some things, because they can put you in a position to make all the money you want to start to be in the career you want to live out your dreams, all that stuff. You get a chance to do it. So my encouragement to you guys, if you have just left college or you know someone that left college, go outside this summer, shake some hands, get to know your local community business people, not just clubbing and hanging out, but like your local business community people. Go talk to them, go have a conversation with them. Offer your services for free, offer your services complimentary, and then see what happens from there, y'all. I'm telling you, good things are going to be able to happen. Again, if you just are tuning in or you stuck around to the end, please remember we have our Financial Clarity Club that we just started just 2 days ago. We're in July. We started this so we can have a community for people that want to be able to talk about money and heal from their money traumas and learn that other people are just in the exact same spot that they are. They're just not talking to anyone. We're going to give you the resources, the tools you need to build your financial life properly. We're going to have experts on there. We're going to do community chats. There's going to be all types of good stuff. Get in the Financial Clarity Club now. If you sign up by listening, again, whenever you're listening to this, if you sign up right now, the first 50 people inside are going to get the first 90 days for free. Okay. It's $50 a month, but you're going to get the first 90 days for free. So July, August, September, you won't probably have to pay till October coming in. And even then, it's just $50 a month. What you'll learn in those first 90 days will help you create enough income to make sure you have your $50 a month anyway, to be able to participate and be in the club. But make sure you jump into this club ASAP. It's going to really bless your life, y'all. All right. All right, good. I'm glad that we could be live here on LinkedIn, live here on YouTube. We try to do this every single Friday. Next Friday, I will be out of town. Yeah, I'll be out of town, but I don't know. Can I do this? I may be able to do this. I'm not sure. I don't know. Either way, you may get BIZBUZZ next Friday. You may have to wait 2 weeks. I'm out of town. And so do everything in your power to make sure that you are intentional about making money, about growing your identity in order to make all the money that you want to. Most importantly, being able to provide for yourself, your family, the life that you deserve. So that's why we do it, y'all. I'll see you back here next Friday. If not next Friday, in 2 weeks.